And it really is the gateway of the new earth as well, the new humanity. It is really the way of releasing all of this place of notion of separateness. And so the more of us, the one, the two, the 10, the 100, the thousands and millions, as we start to be willing to open, and when we become willing to open together, we start to really see the truth. And it, for me, in the core of that is where all healing lives. In the core of that is where all wisdom lives. In the core of that is where all of our answers live. So when we get still, we are guided. And in the core of that, of course, is love. So if I tune into the new human feels like she and he are turned on from a place of really knowing themselves. They feel like they have a absolute connection to their divine self, so the upper, which you pointed to, but also have recognized and have embodied and received their humanity. So it's almost like the duality of heaven and earth, or divine and human, come to merge. There's something quite powerful and palpable occurring, and something powerful and palpable that we can step into. And yet I feel like the first step is for all of us to start to see that we have the opportunity of creating a planet that is flourishing, a humanity that is flourishing, that we move from struggle to a place of expansion and happiness. So it sometimes feels like a really big jump, doesn't it? Like the two, like from, you know, the devolution or the evolution, like it feels like the gap is really wide. And yet I guess in the exploration of conscious evolution, that inner choice I feel needs to happen. I choose to actually focus my attention. I choose for the earth to actually move in an upward direction. You know, I choose to actually contribute in that way. And whilst all the current reality is looking this way, you know, it can be sometimes challenging in our witnessing of the new to actually continue to step forward in that, because we get challenged, don't we?
Yeah.
When we consciously choose to move forward, it becomes a way of being. It's almost like a lifestyle. And so, you know, it's kind of like that place of learning and growth. It's kind of like I might have a mental concept about something, and then I get an experience that comes through my heart, and then I am stepping into inspired actions around it. And then at some point it becomes embodied. It almost becomes a part of my, you know, of my being. And it's kind of, it's almost like when you look at it, you know, a habit change. But this is working at a much deeper level. And it's so important, again, these small groups coming together to really support through resonance and coherence and support to keep us on track. Because when the majority is still in a specific current reality, it can be very easy for us to get swayed if we're not in our practice, if we're not in good company, we're not eating the right. All of the things that you've spoken about really help keep us in alignment, don't they? Our uniqueness and who we are being and our natural makeup has all of the resources already there. We just need to remember and see them. So, for example, the one that I love is the evolutionary impulse, the place that comes up within us that is full of desire, that is full of onness, that when we're actually attuned to that, that's the direction we can keep coming back to. Of course, sometimes we lose vision of that because we come into our heads and the doubt and there's all those sorts of things. And that's where, again, we're really good company can support us. But in our own willingness to tune back into that impulse, that aliveness, it always has the clue.